Good morning, everybody. So to answer Mr. Guzman, why am I becoming a lazy boy not to change the front page there? No, nothing changed. There was nothing new to say. There was nothing more to say. Let's throw the charts up. Another kind of, there was a little bit of action yesterday, but I can see it was just kind of slow grind, trying to inch higher to get up there with lots of little whipsaws going on. Maybe eventually it gets there. We'll see. Um, doesn't have much to stop it as far as resistance. Uh, Scrunch that data up there just to. I could put it on a higher time frame just to squeeze it, but yeah, let me do that. Let me whatever. Just pick something. Sometimes I used to use 180-minute charts just to squish them up. You know, nothing special about it. So you can see it's churning there. I mean, look, it's come a long way, right? But it's built up a little base. This little consolidation, um, just gives us a reference point that it shouldn't violate. You got pivot, pivot. So the thought process here with these pivots, really, really powerful thing. You know, most people don't realize what a great tool they are because most people are too hung up on, magical indicators, trend lines, fib lines, whatever, right? But the price action, what people are doing, is what creates support and resistance, not these, you know, again, magical Ichikumi clouds, whatever. Throw it all in the dumpster. That's where that dumpster MT Live should go. Should be a big beginning thing, Dan. And you just put a whole bunch of words together with all of these fancy things, and you're taking the words and you're throwing them into the dumpster. Right? And so this is what creates support and resistance. And it's just a very simple thing. Right? And we just choose three. I know you can set these settings to 4, 5, 6, whatever. Two, get too many. Three is just right, like the Bears, right? So creates a pivot, momentum move up. Maybe it comes back down here. No, it creates a pivot. Now we've got a support point. It retests the pivot. It goes up. There's a pivot here. You got a trading range. So now you got a significant support point. And it's, as long as it stays above here, assume it's going to go up. Simple. Go up to where? Look to the left. Well, maybe it can go all the way up here. So the assumption is, yes, it can do that unless it violates some support. Now, again, I switched this to a 180-minute chart, but it's going to be the same base on a 65-minute, or it's going to break a prior day's low. So violating this, the only reason it would be somewhat significant is because it's been going up for so many days without violating a prior day's low. What we're really going to be looking for is, just like here, here, does it does it close below a prior day's low? And when it closes below a prior day's low, we can say that is a significant change from what was. And it hasn't happened since it's turned up, since the point of, oh my God, recession's coming. And then, oh, something's changing, right? Somebody called Sleepy Joe or Kamala or Obama or who knows what. And they said, hey, a-holes over there with your data, get it changed. And then we had this revision yesterday. Oh, things aren't so great. No, no, we lost these jobs. So no, the Fed can cut. And so up and away. This miraculous turn. And that's why, of course, the dollar is now tanking and those other currencies are going up because they're going to cut interest rates and everybody's now very secure that they're going to do something in September and they're probably going to do something in October or, some guy on TV saying, oh, they're going to do 3 times today, right? We've been all over the place this year, 6 times, 3 times, 1 time, no times, 3 times. So a lot of uncertainty. So until it breaks below a prior day's low and closes below a prior day's low. As we look at this chart, we just assume it's going to continue to go up, and it's going up in an erratic way. It is what it is. Things are going to change at some point. Right? Now, this had a bad tick from yesterday, so I just made an adjustment here. That's why this candle is blue, and it may not be totally accurate as to this high and low. But I made the change so it didn't have this big tail going all the way down here. And the same story. This is going to, it just touched the bottom of that candle yesterday. But it looks like it's on its way to new all-time highs. Like it could get there. We have no break of a prior day's low. So it's repetitive. There's an unfilled gap down here. There was the wide range bar we spoke about a couple of days ago. Momentum is slowed. Everybody's waiting to see what Powell's going to say tomorrow to give some indication as to the rate cuts or how many or what he's going to thinking. He's probably telling whoever already. So we'll see what happens. SPX, nothing was touched yesterday. Odds are nothing will be touched today. So again, those are the extremes. You've got this bottom of this bar there. Not quite, well, you got to get beyond 50, which will be something to pay attention to. And to come down here, while we're getting closer to some type of pullback action at some point, it hasn't violated a prior day's low since the move up. So why should it do it today? I mean, at some point it's going to do it, but why should it do it today? So there we go. The Dow, slowing momentum. It's up near here. Same stories going on. Oh yeah, I mentioned, the internals. And take a look. Still not there. Just kind of just a little touch on that lower band. On that total put call ratio, the equity is not touching yet. This is up here. Maybe a little spike, tomorrow would set the stage for that, but we're not there yet. We had this low put call day, was on this day here as that pushed up. A lot of call buying. Getting a little bit more enthusiastic, but prices aren't moving that fast. So I don't know what, as far as days to expiration, time decay, and all of that. That's the thing with options. Things start to move in the direction you thought, but they do it so slow. And if you don't have enough time to expiration, you could just about get to being in the money, and your options have deteriorated considerably. What was the SPX lower number? PH was covering. Oh, 55.65. Let's see. Put side 55.65, and that's lower now. It's lower now, so really you gotta go up to 70 and maybe even 75. So things came up a little bit. These things are moving. So to get the dollar, we got to do 75. But again, if things start coming in on the call side, that may have gone up, which could make it the no-brainer. 70. Yep. Yep. That went up. So there you go. All right. Part of yesterday's comments was, what if, maybe, if this down bar could get turned around? And so now we've got the Russell doing what kind of anticipated. I don't know about hope for, but hey, you've got a continuation pattern now. And so the Russell can bring up the rear and push up into this void above. Right now, it's doing a lot of nothing. I mean, it's slightly above that high. It poked above it and it's just sitting there waiting for some other information. But look, gap up, little consolidation, move, red bar, ignored, flip back up again. They're buying the dip. You see the bottoming tail bar. It should go up. Right? It should not break below this low. It should go up. Diamonds. Nah. Nope, nope, nope. Resistance. The Russell should be the index to trade. I'm just looking at the NASDAQ futures here. You know, they're up against this resistance. Look at this consolidation here. Not, it's a little extended, granted, but it's holding up at this resistance. And it's just kind of poking here. You can see that little consolidation there. So that shouldn't get violated, but it's got room to go up. And, just a few things that, not dumpster diving, but look at this is going sideways at resistance. It's right at the highs. Maybe this is going to do a little catch-up trade. This one, consolidating at there. So, I don't know, day or two, day trade, what have you. What is it, 8 k.a.m. had a correction bar yesterday. It broke the low and popped back up again. So we have that one on the radar. SMHs, they're stuck here. But the idea of catch up is, this went up, which means like NVIDIA and what others that went up. And that's at the 50, there's this unfilled gap here. Doesn't mean it can't go higher, but look, the more it goes up without any correction, the greater it seems the probability that it'll pull back a little bit. So far, it's just going sideways. Buyers aren't stepping away. They're not getting aggressive because they're waiting for Friday, this guy to say something. KRE didn't quite get the green bar, but bottoming tail bar. So that came up. Financials we know are at resistance. Biotechs. That's where there's some strength is, these biotech stocks. Have been doing well. Interest rates, up here a little bit, but what's going on? Like interest rates are dropping. Crude oil is collapsing. Now it's back down to the bottom of the range. And, we've got markets that are going up like it's 1999, the way they went down and came back up again, but, just rallying back. And you've got indications here that there are still beliefs that there could be a recession. I mean, why are interest rates keep going down? So we can understand why the 13-week is going down, but why is the 10-year and the 30-year going down? If the economy is doing so great, I don't think so. But these are telling a different story than the stock market. And, we shall see. People are working. Well, maybe people are working that weren't working before because of COVID and the free money ran out. So it's not like, and maybe that was part of that revision. Who knows? Government, can't trust them. Are people really getting new, are these really new jobs? And then they make this revision. And so how many people didn't work that were working before COVID that are finally going to go get a job, all this time later? What have you been doing all this time? Anyway, COVID really messed up an awful lot of things besides people. Yeah. All right. Yeah, so a couple of those semiconductor stocks, I think maybe they play a little catch up. IWM, I like that continuation pattern there for a possible move up. Crude oil is down at the bottom of the range. We'll see what that's going to do. Just another piece of information is, you know, this collapse in airline stocks while crude oil is dropping. That's not a good thing, you know? And so this is beginning to reach an area where it might roll back over again. And you look at retailing, you know, you had that other one, Target yesterday, ripping higher. I don't know what they're selling there, but this came up. I'm sure that helped it, but overall, I mean, retailing's not doing much of anything, and consumer discretionary. I forget which symbol it is, or if I have it in here, but anyway, things are just all over the place, and at some point they'll settle down, or just we'll see what September brings as far as that corrective part of the year, which would make sense since the markets have gone up as much as they have in a short amount of time. So, and our internals, a little more push to the upside, and our internals will be in alignment. All yours, Dan.
Good morning. Yeah, same old story. Not trading the broader markets other than like the IWM, but we still find plenty of great patterns on our own. Let's look at alarms as always, earnings, interest list. So this alarm went off LNTH. We bought a half lot into the close. My minder here shows it at 102.60, but I don't see any prints. Estee Lauder, this had earnings and got a downgrade. And I said in the green room, it was this bottoming tail bar. I said, let's see if this starts a bottoming process. Now that it's up, you still got parallel nasty MAs. So it's, bottoming patterns, we like them to flatten out because then by definition, it's been going sideways longer. But I like today's gap. So if it on 30-minute high, I like this as a put spread. TXG. Now see, this one was in our dumpster diver seminar. See, it's a consolidated longer bear sandwich breakout, 1, 2, 3. And now my up alarm's going off. So finally, that's taken a sweet time. But that looks good. Delow, another perfect dumpster diving bottoming pattern, downside shakeout, gapping up. So that's a go. 5-minute high or a little pullback. AGNC, Alex. I shorted $10 puts on this, but over all these highs, I like it as a directional. I like the weekly, monthly. All right, those are all my alarms. Let's go to earnings now. Snow. Ugly gap. Still has a big old void, so we got to come back to it. I don't have a bias right now. Wolf. This is not a bottoming pattern, again, compared to DLO, etc. This is more of a climo, just a little relief pop if we get a setup. It's gapping up on earnings, pulling in, we'll come back. Zuo 926. That's a pro gap right there. Nasty downtrend, gapping over all this, but the problem is there's no void. Zoom, $61, no pattern. Urban getting whacked. Man, I was thinking of selling a put spread on that. I'm sure glad I didn't. And the reason I didn't is I said if it gaps under this base, I said it could easily go to 36. And now, wow, 35, 30. But we're getting whacked in this AAP. I'll get to it in a second. A Agilent 146. Gap breakout, need a pullback. Miggy. Um, cheap stock, but it is a buy setup and multi-bar term with a void. That's worth watching. This, nah, so now, uh, so Don, I I would love this. When we get gap and craps, the bigger the gap, the better. So it's gapping to 584, which is still a lot, but I wish it were gapping like 600. And then 10-minute low, I'd be all over selling one DTE call spreads, but it's still extended. Let's watch it for one DTE or 2950 gap breakout, all-time highs, recent IPO. Triple B Foods. Never heard of them. But no good setup. We'll watch it. And Nordstrom here. I actually find this hard to believe. A $247 stock, only moving 8 cents on earnings. This would have been a great pattern to do a 230, but there was no weeklies and they were too spreading. All right, these were all in the morning. TD's another one that I said. I hope it gaps up a few dollars, but it's gapping down. So 30-minute low. I still like 60 call spread for tomorrow. So, I'm telling you the ones I like the most here. This one of the 30-minute low I like. Oh, it's not earnings, but look at this. Netflix is a Climo, topping tail, inside bar, gapping under this 15-minute support. So I said 5-minute low. Let's sell the 710, one DTE. Oh, really? NT's there, thanks. I didn't even look. I mean, on TD. NT's bearish gap, no interest. Baidu, though. See, Baidu was actually up this morning, and it would have been a bottoming pattern, but now it's selling off, so no interest now. WSM, another retailer, one that's a big old gap. Now there's a ton more resistance than support, but 30-minute high. We can consider a put spread. Vic gapping down, nothing. Bravo Juliet, another retailer, 82 bucks, nasty gap. So this guy competes with Costco, the cousin. Wow, the cousin is holding very well in light of that cousin gap down. That's impressive. But look at that monthly chart. Absolute beast. Billy, 1470. That's an ADR. I don't like those. I don't know what is going on with this or if it's even real because I don't see any prints. But Land C, my miner here shows it trading at $316. But this is a chart that I say causes me a headache. I would only sell naked puts or put spread on the pattern like this. I would not touch that as a directional myself. Intel, a lot of pre-market volume. Yeah, gapped up, filled the gap, still a dog. All right, here's the one gapping it against us. I was hoping it would open flat, and then I love this as a bottoming pattern. So we did a condor, and we're getting hurt on the put side. That is a monster gap. And Don, I like when you post those statistics. Don posted something yesterday saying historically the gap down is larger than the expected move. So that's exactly what happens again. So, I'll be looking to unwind the put spread. We only did a $2 wide, took in 60 cents. So we know our max loss. But, even when things are both deep in the money, like Don on that target yesterday, I got hurt on the call side. but I still got out at like $1.50 instead of the max loss of 250 when they're both deep in the money. And the reason for that is they still had extrinsic value. So even when you see a big old gap against you, my point is, we can still get out. All right, this I said I was hoping it would open flat and I'd short the heck out of it. And then I noticed it's only a $3 stock, but that is a bearish consolidation and a downtrend. I don't mind day trading, I guess, $3 stocks, but I don't like swinging them. You know, at some point they get so cheap they become buyout targets, and I don't want to get caught in a gap. But that's beautiful. I'm gonna put it here, and Wolf's coming in, so I don't need him anymore. Let's say 5 minute low. Might be able to do a little day trade short there. Shows it up, but I don't see any prints. Whiskey Bravo flat. Well, 805. Well, bullish gap, but garbage. Pete, Tom, remember we were thinking of buying calls on this yesterday because the pattern looked like my bias of this pattern was up, and we even considered $3 puts. So that's a big old gap on this dog. Oprah, I posted pre-market. I like this as a gap breakout, but I posted it when it was 1350 or whatever, say right there. But now the gap's too big for me without a controlled pullback. CSIQ, solar, look at that power downtrend monthly. That thing's still in trouble. Fizzler's the leader of the pack. I have an alarm over this red bar. That would be a red bar ignored breakout. Compare this monthly on Fizzler to CSIQ. It doesn't take a brain surgeon to see which one is the leader of the pack. Echo Hotel gap breakout. This is an inverse head and shoulder with kind of a lower right shoulder, but it has a void. So this I like a lot. I'm going to put that in a window. Echo Hotel looks great. 5 minute high maybe. I can't believe Doe has no volume. Diamond offshore, that's strange. Oh, and I posted XOP pre-market bear 123. You can either short the ETF, you can buy puts, buy put debit spread, call spread, whatever your flavor of bearish trade is. IJR is just a different idea to the IWM. It's the mid caps, but similar type pattern. All right, look at IQ bottom right. Look at Oprah. IQ looks 5 minute low. You can short it. All right, see how this gap is too big now for me. All right, KLG up alarm. Yeah, I actually had a low alarm go off right into the close. But I see Echo Hotel. Let's let it stabilize. That when you get big gaps like on snow, there's still a major void here. So this thing, it might bounce, it might hold, I have no idea. I mean, it's bouncing pretty good here, but I would prefer to continue to sell off before putting on a bullish trade. right, so echo, oh, that's KLG, I'll set a new alarm. 1795. Breakout failure in the queue, so I'm in no rush to do anything.
MU triggered, unless you want to do 5-minute high.
See what I mean about snow? See, I would never have gotten sucked into that. MU, yeah, looks great. Continuation pattern, absolutely. Another kind of inverse head and shoulder with a void, sure. Um, check put spreads also. By half lot. 110.40. Half 109.50. Stop. Yesterday low. Wow, diamonds. The strong one coming out of the gate here. Diamonds, but it's that resistance. I got zero interest. That's a grinder, XLRE. All right, back to MU would be a great 1DT here. MU 108 for tomorrow. 53 by 58. We got, Jackson Hole. But $2 wide is 31 cents, the 108s. So that's too tight. But if it closes strong, we can do one for next week. LNTH up alarm. We did a half lot. Alex got us into this. That snow is not bouncing. I'll set new alarms here. 104 and 101. Looks good. GPS is still no data. They didn't get bought out, did they? Akamai up alarm, nice. It's moved up yesterday's low. 100, 145. AD line gap down. It's at 300 right now. Oh, let's do break even actually. That's your nickname for Sam? MC Mick? Hmm. There. Snow still a dog. That Echo Hotel is moving. Let me check the daily. Echo Hotel. Wow, that was nice, nice, but it was a gap and go. But that is a beautiful bottoming pattern, Echo Hotel. Look, IQ, bottom right, I said, was beautiful short. You could have shorted 2-minute low on that. 1-minute low. That's a bearish gap, bearish pre-market. Chasing now a little. Yeah, it's getting far from the 20, but it's a beast. Mix. Yeah, nothing to do. I got the stops in. Builder. I like the breakout, Sam, but I don't like the void is not big. Up 3 bars at resistance weekly. So, but I would do a put spread under here, 160. But there's no weeklies. Shoot.